All right, now we're going to change gears, talk USA Water Polo National League, and we have the pleasure of being joined by the USA Water Polo High Performance Director, John Abdou, and one of John's tasks is also being the Commissioner of the National League, which is now in year 2. John, a bit of a different look this year, more teams, some new clubs, some new athletes, lots of excitement about the National League. What are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for year 2. I think year 1 was really exciting for us just to get it off the ground, get it started. This is a reformatting of what was formerly known as the Premier League about a decade ago. So bringing this back and trying to get elite domestic competition for our men again here was really exciting. Year 2, we've gotten a little bit bigger, casting a broader net. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
More USA teams, as we've told you in the past, during the counterattack. Some new club teams, Republico, one of those involved, and also athletes that haven't gotten the chance to play in the National League before. We're helped by the fact the Olympics are on the way, so more of Team USA is back home. They can take part with either the USA teams or their club teams. When you look at those new additions, who are some folks, some teams that kind of jump out at you?
Yeah, well, a few things happened with the league, right? So last year there were 3 USA teams that participated. This year there will be 4 USA teams participating. So that means more college players involved. So more of the athletes from the NCAA will be represented in the National League. On an Olympic year specifically, you have some of our players like Tony Azevedo who will be around playing domestically as they prepare for Rio this summer. So I think all those things combined are going to be really exciting for the league this year.
As we told you last week, roster's out, so you can check it out at usawaterpolo.org. Don't forget, when you're talking National League on social media, use that USAWPNL hashtag. When folks look at the rosters, they are, of course, excited about players they like, they know they want to see, but they're also probably thinking, hey, where's player X that I think is great in college or in high school or was a national team athlete? Can you just fill us in? Not everyone wanted to be a part of the National League.
Well, it's interesting. There's a selection process, right, that goes into this. So for athletes that are in high school, those high school athletes are selected via the ODP process, via the Olympic Development Program. So athletes who participate in ODP are eligible to maybe be identified to participate in the National League. For the college players, nomination forms were sent out to all the college coaches in the country. So there's a collaboration between the national team staff and myself and the college coaches in terms of identifying athletes from specific colleges that want to participate in the league. So in that process of working with the college coaches, there are athletes that have been invited that may be studying abroad this spring, may have academic conflicts, may choose not to participate in the league for personal reasons. So the athletes that you see are not all the athletes that have been invited to the league. But I think we've gotten a very, very close to a perfect score on all the athletes in the country who should be participating in the league. So I think it's going to be a very high level.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have made really an extra effort to try and get the very best players. You mentioned the ODP kind of qualifying part for the high school, but with that in mind and with the college and with the post-college pro athletes to try and really get the best available U.S. players involved.
Yeah, and obviously some may choose not to do it, and that's unfortunate, but that being the case, we still have, I think, a great group in it. And I think probably the most exciting thing on my end is seeing the development of clubs like an alumni, like the newly found Republica Club. What the league has done, and I think what the league provides, is a forum and motivation for these types of athletes who have graduated now from college and clubs now to seek out those athletes and provide a place for them to play after college. It's been long discussed and long talked about in USA Water Polo that male athletes from the ages of 22 to 26 stop playing water polo. And now places like Alumni, Republica, and of course the old guards of Olympic Club and New York Athletic Club, these are places where players can keep playing. So we're going to see guys who may have just finished their eligibility this fall in the NCAA and are immediately playing in the league this spring. So I think that's really exciting.
Add some nice kind of continuity to those college careers. You can keep following some of your favorite players. One thing that always comes up is the thought that the National League is the first step to a pro league in the U.S. at some point. I'm sure you field that question all the time about where is this going down the road. I know there's been a specific focus leading up to 2016 and then moving beyond. Where do you kind of see the National League moving forward if you look down the road 3-4 years?
Yeah, I think we've made this pretty clear last year. We started the league. The big thing was to get it back, and there's always hurdles to get this type of things back going again. One is just the buy-in from the community. 2, it's the NCAA compliance piece.
Sure.
One thing that we always want to be careful of calling it something a professional league when most of the athletes in here are NCAA athletes, right? And they have to maintain their amateur status. So for us, going through those hurdles and making sure we have the funding for it and the environment to do it, those were the first hurdles. We got through that, and we made it very clear that the first 2 years of the league, the main purpose is to help prepare our men's athletes for national team competitions. So it was Pan American American Games and World Championships last summer, and for this summer it's the Olympic Games, and I think the league is providing that. Everybody who will be playing, who competed for the men's national team last year, competed in the National League, and it'll be the same this year. So it gives them consistent training and some higher level games to play in. I think beyond that, looking forward, creating some sort of semi-professional or high level domestic play for us will always be the goal. But I think we'll see how it develops. My goal next year will be to try to expand the league, try to get some more teams, maybe some teams from outside of California. Potentially having some teams visit from Europe. I mean, we're in talks of trying to expand the league and make it more competitive, but we'll see as that progresses.
And as has happened in the past when we talk National League, especially on social media, in the thought of equality, we do get the question, any thought for a women's National League? Are there specific hurdles that keep that from happening? When you get that question, how do you respond to that?
Well, we always want to make sure that we have high-level competition for our women, right? So my role is to oversee both the men and the women here. And I think on the women's side, what we're blessed with, we should say, in America, is that the NCAA league that is currently happening right now for women's water polo is arguably the best women's water polo league in the world.
Certainly, yeah.
Right? So we already have the best women's water polo league in the entire world. So the need to kind of add to that or do more to that isn't as great as it is for the men's, whereas the best men's leagues in the world exist outside of America. So the best women's players in the world, even outside of America, will come and try to play NCAA water polo to enhance their game. So I don't feel the need is there, but as we progress and we go down the line, the need may come again.
One of the other exciting things I thought when I looked at the National League schedule this year was you're taking it to some different locations. So we know about Segerstrom High School. That's where a couple of rounds were held last year, but now you're going to the Henderson, Las Vegas area, taking it to Nevada for the first time. The championship will be at a bigger venue at Cal. What were the thoughts behind taking it to some of these other spots?
Yeah, I think the goal is always going to be to travel this around as much as possible. Of course, cost is prohibitive, right? Always getting us to places. Las Vegas is one of those places. Henderson, Nevada is one of those places that for Northern California, Southern California, our East Coast athletes are participating in the league is a central point that we can all get to in a doable way, right? In a logistical manner. So I think for us, taking our sporting event to Henderson is to try to expose the world to the sport of water polo. Las Vegas itself is turning into a popular place for sports teams to go.
Totally.
Let's talk about the Raiders trying to go there to add their team. Talk about maybe an NHL team going to Las Vegas. So for us, it's a growing and booming sports town, and so for us, this is a great place for us to showcase the sport there. The city of Henderson, I should say, has been very supportive in bringing us to town, and so I think we're really excited to be there. And in the future, we're trying to go as many places as we can with it.
And lastly, is there anything else? You get a lot of the questions about the National League. Any other things that are important for fans, USA Water Polo members, people that are interested in the league to know about it?
No, I think for us, this is just a great opportunity for all athletes, coaches, referees to come see some of our best compete at the highest level that we can possibly put together. So I think for anybody who's watching out there, if they have a chance to come see us, all the games for weeks 1 through 3 are free for admission. So we've made it accessible for everybody to come watch and participate and be there. There'll be a nominal fee for the championship, and hopefully everybody can be there in Northern California. And we will live stream the championship as well. So I think for everybody out there, the more that we can get behind a project like this, and the more we can rally as a community and turn these into events for professional development opportunities for athletes, coaches, and referees, then I think the better off the league will be in the long run.
John Abdou, High Performance Director and Commissioner, thanks for the time.